And we're live. I wonder if y'all caught the tail end of me counting everyone in. Hello, everybody. It's so great to see y'all. Thank you so much for the raid. Really appreciate it. That was awesome. Thank you so much for tuning in. We love y'all. Manaia love. My name is Connie. My pronouns are they, he, and she. I am the GM and executive producer behind Transplanar RPG. I, as a person, am interested in horror, screenwriting, improv, monstrosity, and myth making. You can find me on Twitter at @ByConnieChang and on Twitch and Tumblr at @DandDaddyIssues. So let's pass along introductions. I'm going to invite Max to introduce himself next.
Hello, I'm Max. I go by they, them pronouns. I play Dewey Quirk, the Aarakocra Ranger. I, as a person, am interested in things like staying up too late and taking my cats, dealing with my foster cats. You can find me Monger on Tumblr and Instagram. C. Go.
That's me. I'm C. I use they, them pronouns. I'm gay. I always do that. I'm like, what's next? What's after that?
You're gay.
I'm a digital artist. I'm a dancer. I'm gay. I'm a dancer. I'm a performance artist. And I'm also a digital artist. And I made the art that you can see around the frame here. My commissions are open, and you can find me on Tumblr at pi-sharp. Or on Twitter at @PySharpArt. Our art giveaway for 500 followers on Twitter closes after this episode, so Get in the Twitter right now and retweet that to enter. You can get so much free art from me and Erica, so do it. And I'll pass it on to Erica.
Hi everybody, I'm Erica, she, her pronouns. I play V. Nocturzo, the lovable elf sorceress con woman. I am Erica Newgirl on all sorts of social media. I'm also a trained clown, and so I love to make people laugh and or cry both at the same time. And I will pass it on to Devin.
Hello, all y'all. Meow. My name is Devin.
No. I'm gonna nix that right in the bud.
Wow,
No
so you can
meowdy.
say hello every pony, but I can't say meowdy, y'all.
Well,
Yeah,
Wow. Okay.
Unfair.
I see
Alright.
how
Unfair.
it is.
let's get
I
on
see
with
how
the
it is.
introductions.
My name is Devin.
Yeah.
I use they them. My name's Devin. I use they them pronouns. I play Manaia. She's tall. She's a fighter. She's a half-orc. She's great. We love her. You can find me on our Discord channel. I don't have any social medias. I'm not a public person. Join our Discord using the !! Discord thingy command. That's what it's called.
Yes.
You can also find me at Tuesdays at 7 p.m. streaming right here on this channel. I'm playing video games. It's a good time.
Wonderful. Let's pass it along to Erica.
I've already gone.
Oh, sorry. Oh, are we all done? Oh my god. That was so
Yes, we're
embarrassing
done,
for me.
Connie.
I need to end the stream right now. Thanks for coming. That was humiliating. So I'm going to invite C to now talk about a little bit about our stance on Wizards of the Coast.
Our stance on Wizards of the Coast is fuck Wizards of the Coast, as always. And if you would like a fuller, more in-depth fuck Wizards of the Coast, you can use the !WOTC command in chat to read our full statement.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, C. So as a reminder, we play our main campaign every other Saturday at 3 p.m. Central. So episode 7, lucky number 7, comes out Saturday, September 19th at 3 p.m. Central on Twitch. Same time, same place as always. Lecture 4 of Professor Chong's Tabletop Workshop airs next Saturday, September 12th. At 3 p.m. Central, and the topic is to be determined. Finally, as Devin mentioned earlier, every Tuesday night at 7 p.m. Central is Gaming with Devin, emphasis on the gay, where Devin plays Final Fantasy XIV in character as Manaia Wairua. So if you just want like a chill, laid-back, lo-fi hip-hop beats, Final Fantasy XIV, am I selling this correctly, Devin? No? That's okay. Tune in Tuesday nights at 7 p.m. So, C, would you like to talk a little bit about what was up with that scrolling marquee at the bottom of our waiting room?
Oh, I have no idea, Connie. What was up with that scrolling marquee? Actually, I do know. We are very, very proud to present our promo partners with other BIMPOC, queer folks, and or trans folks in the tabletop community. So use our promo partners, ! Promo partners, no spaces, at any time in the chat for a full list of folks in that scrolling marquee from our waiting rooms. And we're also super, super pumped to announce our special partnership with GameSpy B, which is a one-of-a-kind, handmade, custom D&D and tabletop accessories Etsy store that sells dice bags, dice trays, like all these things that you could call perhaps bespoke, perhaps. And all Transplanar fans get 10% off in their store with the coupon code Transplanar10. For a link to their incredible store and coupon info, use the command coupon, the coupon command, exclamation coupon, in chat.
Exclamation point coupon in chat. Whenever you want to do a command, put an exclamation point and then whatever we're telling you the command is. So thank you so much for that, C. Moving on, Erica, would you like to thank our donors?
Yes, we'd love to acknowledge everyone who's donated, subscribed, gift subbed, resubbed, and or gave bits during session 5. Also lecture 3 of Professor Chong's tabletop workshop, and also the gaming with Devin. These were the people who did such things: Ting, Cheshire Perot, Ember and Frost, Lonnie Dan D, Rytel, Erica New Girl, Our God and Savior, Leps View, Phasman91, Scoozy, Stormy Robot, and Hannah May Create. I also do want to say it is September, so during the month of September, if you have never subscribed to this channel, you can get a discount.
Yes.
And you can actually subscribe for multiple months, and the more months you subscribe for, you actually get a larger discount on that sub. We still receive full benefits to a sub. Twitch takes the hit on it, so you're like, yay, let's screw Jeff Bezos out of some money. And if you've been given a gift sub and you choose to sub this month from your gift sub, you get a discount. The only thing is if you've already subbed, you do not get the discount, unfortunately.
Yes. So if you're new, this is a wonderful time to subscribe, and I think someone did earlier already, so thank you so much for subbing. Erica, would you like to talk a little bit about what's up with that bar at the bottom?
Yeah. So we got this bar here, and as you can see on the overlay, our current donation goal is $120. And once we hit that goal, a player-related backstory B plot will become unlocked. Connie will roll a D4, and whoever name comes up will have their B plot activated as soon as possible. Moreover, every $15 donated lights up a star on our overlay, which grants 1 point of collective inspiration to the party. And to donate, you can use the tip command.
Yes. Tip. Thank you so much for that, Erica.
We're really close.
We're very close.
Look how close we are.
13 more bucks, and we're gonna unlock a subplot. Like, who's gonna do it? Is it gonna happen this session? Who knows? So, Max, would you like to give a quick recap of what happened last session, just to sort of catch up people who are new, raiders perhaps, who are like, what the hell's going on? Let's jump right into it.
Hell yeah. If you want to access a written recap of every episode, use exclamation recap in the chat or go to bit.ly/transrecap. Here's what happened last session. After reuniting a separated clan of Quay, or turquoise one-legged oxen, and hearing from one of the children that the many-legged shadowy monsters that attacked came from an orb of darkness that descended into the Euclid Chasm, the party returned to Dr. Alusa's home, where there was cake and more bad news waiting for them. Dr. Alusa's tests on the monster they captured suggested that the plane where souls go after death is gone. Death is permanent now. The players prepared their backup character sheets. Dr. Alusa sent the group off to the capital city of Dabathati to find out why the miners there are rioting. They suspect it has something to do with the cataclysm. Indeed, the party encounters a pair of unnatural, possibly cataclysm mutant monsters, who almost took Manaia out entirely. After fending off the attack, they looked up to find someone who claimed to be tracking these hunters. Hot NPC alert, and that's where we left off.
Great, thank you so much for that succinct recap, Max, and just so you know, we hit our goal. Someone donated while Max was recapping. So that means a player subplot is unlocked.
Shit!
So before I even start the session, I'm gonna assign each of y'all take a number between 1 and 4, because I've got this D4 in my hand. Okay, so Max spoke first. C's gonna be 1, yeah. C/Oka's 1, Max is 4, Devin's 2, Erica's 3. Hold up your numbers so I remember what they are. Ready? I'm gonna roll this on these dice tray. So we're gonna see what it is. It's 3.
Oh god, I'm so scared.
That's Erica. That's Erica or V. Okay, good to know. I'm gonna have to improvise out my ass this session, but we'll see. So basically this means that we're gonna start to unlock V's backstory starting with this episode. So this is a very exciting development. Let's see where this goes. Okay.
Oh my god, I'm so hyped.
With that hype, let's jump right into the meat of this session, shall we? Let me cue up some good tunes. get in character here.
Wait,
Yes?
this session has a title, though, doesn't it?
Oh my god, you're so right! I totally forgot the title. Alright, let's rewind the music. Devin, tell us about the title of this session.
Yeah, so Connie, being the great person that he is, titles every session, and I'm in charge of telling y'all what it is. We almost didn't have a title of the session. So, this episode is episode 6, and our title for this week is, or these 2 weeks is, Black Sky Too Blurred for Stars, which is from the poem We Go Around in a Circle in Without Protection by Gala Mukomolova. Excuse me, the whole verse reads, We go around in a circle. The back of a truck. One woman starts. Black sky too blurred for stars. 8 of us. The dark basement of a house. Artists retreat. We wade through beer bottles. Sweat-soaked furniture. That's the whole verse. It's real pretty. I love it a lot.
Yep, you can get it from Coffee House Press. This is the book of poetry, actually. It's by a queer, I think, Russian female writer, so super, super interesting. Check it out, Without Protection. Buy it online at coffeehousepress.org. So let's move on into the meat of the session. Thank you for reminding me that I skipped your announcement portion, Devin. So let's get started. Hair to scalp, and horn to chest. Dream to scorn, nightmare blessed. Blood to gold, and flame to rust. Seasons churning, hope to dust. Run like the hare, and run like the fox. Run like the hunter, and run like the stalked. Days may turn, and faces may change. Love will fade, but so will pain. Oka, Dewey,
Oh dear.
Manaia, and V. The hooded figure stares at your group, their tall, lithe form silhouetted by the licking flames of your campfire that is miraculously somehow still burning in the aftermath of your hard-fought battle. This person lingers on the edges of the light, their face and body completely obscured, but you can clearly make out the hilt of 2 swords slung across their back, kind of like Deadpool, as well as the soft ruffles on the edges of their hood that suggests it might be lined with fur or wool or hide. And then their voice comes again out of the darkness, gruff and unshaven, and they jerk their head toward the dead lobster scorpion creature on the ground, and they say, Y'all gonna eat that? What do you do?
I think Oka's blood maledict curse, it's been probably a minute. So I would like to think that the blood just kind of like slaps onto the ground.
Okay.
In like a line where it had been.
Cool. As the blood sort of slaps onto the ground, you hear like a low whistle come from this person, and they go, That's some fancy magic you got there.
Who the fuck are you?
I could ask you the same question. You just killed that thing I've been stalking for over a week. My dinner. So, like I said, are you gonna eat it?
No, we're not gonna eat it. You can't eat that!
That's what you think. So if you're not gonna eat it, can I have it?
V, I'm Oka. Oka looks at V, and Dewey, and then Manaia, who's still on the ground, and they like take a small step back.
Okay.
We need to take something out of it first. Have you been eating these things?
Look, I eat whatever I need to eat to survive here, okay? Ever since the vanishing, things have been hard out here for everyone. We do what we must to survive. What are you gonna take out?
Okay.
The heart? It's the most delicious part.
How?
You haven't noticed, V?
I was just curious of what value is this scorpion creature to you? Like, you know,
It
it's ours. We killed it, so it's what are you willing to give up for it?
You killed it in the sense that hyenas kill wounded prey, that lions drive toward a trap. This is my quarry. Look, you can have whatever you want to take from it, I just want meat.
It's all
Again, how
yours.
valuable is this? No, oh God, we do not negotiate with strangers that we don't know. We're not friends yet. If you tell us who you are and what you're doing here, perhaps we'll give you a leg. For the more you tell us, we'll give you another leg.
You seem to misunderstand. This is my quarry. I'm letting you have the rest of the body once I'm done with it.
You keep saying this, that this is your quarry, but honestly, you let us do all the hard work. You let us kill it. I'm asking you your name. I'm asking you simple questions.
Okay, roll persuasion. What did you get? Let's do some basic math.
No, I'm sorry, my
Right,
character
yeah.
sheet is
No problem.
I can't.
21.
Ooh,
Does
okay.
that mean you?
Yeah, that does. So this person pauses. You see that their hands were going toward their swords, but they pause. And they go, I suppose you did do the majority of the work, even though I chased it here. Very well. If you must know, this creature possesses little to nothing in terms of monetary value, unless you can find a way to fashion armor, weapons, or gems out of it. And this person steps forward, deeper into the light now, but you can see that the hood is pulled forward so much that their face is still cast in shadow, and they reach out a hand. You see their hand is gloved, and they're wearing long sleeves, so you can't even see any part of their skin. And they rap on the carapace of this creature that sort of rings with a hollow steel on steel sound. It's like a big lobster scorpion thing. It's got a hard shell. And this person goes, unless you could figure out a way to make stuff out of this carapace, I'd say it's pretty much close to worthless. Unless you find a way to make use of its, I don't know, claws, venom. I'm not interested in that. I'm just interested in the meat. As for my name, it's Kostas.
Kostas, was that so hard? Nice to meet you, Kostas. My name is Valerie, and it's been very lovely to meet you in this way.
And the rest of you?
Okay.
Oh, Cardew.
Manaia, you're conscious. You're conscious now. You're like stirring. You're no longer incapacitated.
But she is still freaking out a little bit over what's happened,
Sure.
considering that all this kind of stuff happened. So she's a little nonverbal. She's a little, like, dazed.
Okay. So
That's Manaia.
Yes.
I see. Looks
That-
like she got her ass kicked.
She took the brunt of it so that we could, kick its ass, but, she's strong. She's a strong silent type sometimes.
I see. Kostas gets on one knee, and you see like their cloak sort of folds open at the knee as they bend. And again, they wear like long trousers, boots. Like not a single part of their skin is exposed in any way, and their hood is still like pulled over. And you see them like they pull out one sword, and you notice it's like a short sword that is engraved in a script that none of you understand, but if you want to, you can roll history to see if you recognize the script. And as they wedge the tip of their blade underneath one of the pieces of armor and begin to try to pry the armor off of this creature so they can get to the meat underneath. What did y'all get?
I rolled a 14.
14?
I rolled a nat 1.
10.
Nat 1, 10. Manaia?
Sure, I guess I'll roll.
You also don't have to roll for it.
You don't have
It's
to.
something your
Nah.
character wouldn't do. Okay. Dewey, you have no idea what this could be. You've never seen such a language at all. But Oka and V, the two of you recognize it as Morosi. It's from the commune of Morose. It's their indigenous language. Which is like to the north, very arctic. The commune is completely situated on a huge, vast perpetually frozen lake for the entire year. And this person pries off a piece of armor, and it sort of squicks off of the meat, and it cling 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 like clatters onto the ground, you know, like my Foley work, and it begins to like saw into the meat, and the smell.
Hey, watch it!
What?
You might hit the bag, asshole.
The what?
Oka's gonna shove forward a little bit, and like they're kind of gonna. They didn't see Dr. Elusa find the bag, so they're not entirely sure where it is.
The bag is
so they're like gonna kind of like charge forward and like get in this in Kostas's personal space a little bit.
Okay.
But then they don't quite know what to do yet.
Okay.
So they they look down.
Okay. As you get
Have
into
you
go ahead.
the bag? You can't puncture the bag.
What the hell are you talking about, the bag?
You've never seen a bag inside these things?
No. What?
So what you're telling me, Kostas, is that you've been tracking these things and yet you know nothing about them. That does not look good for you, Kostas.
I know how to cook them. I know how to eat them. I know how to kill them. What else do I need to know?
You need to know that inside all of these new creatures, there's some very important things that you should not mess with.
Like a bag? I'm sorry, but I'm not interested in designer purses.
It's not a fucking designer purse. From where Kostas had wrenched up the meat.
Mm-hmm.
Oh god, yeah. Oka's gonna like push up their sleeves a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just gonna like put their.
Dig in?
They're just gonna.
They're gonna dig in there? Okay,
Yeah.
roll survival. Okay.
Survival?
Roll survival to see if you can, you're it's like I would ask for survival if you were trying to skin a deer.
Oh.
Like if you're just,
Oh,
like,
okay.
digging
I
out.
thought this was like it was gonna hurt.
No, it's not.
I thought it was
saving
gonna
throw.
hurt me.
No,
They
no.
do have resistance to poison.
Okay.
They do have resistance to poison.
Oh my god.
23.
23.
I got a 23!
You got a 23.
Oh, shit.
Congratulations. Yeah. You get up in this scorpion's guts. Scorpion goes, oh, no, just kidding, it doesn't. You dig around in there, and it feels fleshy, and you can smell it smells like a gutted fish, as well as like a crushed insect. It has like a very fishy, like seafood like smell. That's like kind of like overpowering. You see Kostas go, ugh, you're ruining all the meat. But as you dig deeper, your fingers scrape something. It feels.
I'm gonna grab it.
Yeah, you grab it, and as you pull it out, it looks like a sack of some kind, but S-A-C, not S-A-C-K. Sack, like a sack, like an egg, like a sack. I don't know.
An ink
how else-
sack.
Yeah,
Minecraft
if I keep
squid
repeating,
ink sack.
If I keep repeating the word sack, maybe you'll get it. And it's sort of like it bulges at the end a little bit, and you're grabbing it by the opening, and it looks like fleshy, like it's made from skin, and it's like slick with red gore. And
This is my least favorite scene.
God.
It's a little veiny. It's pulsing just a little.
Ew,
Oh, I spoke too soon.
Okay.
It can only get worse. It can only get worse.
As you pull it out, it's maybe about the size of like a heart.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. As you pull it out, Kostas goes, "Oh. What the fuck?"
Okay, takes us a few steps back, wrinkling their nose, and they hold it tight because they're not sure if the soul can
Get
escape.
out. Right. Okay.
It's like yay big, right?
Yeah, it's like maybe like it'll fit in your bag.
Okay. Oka's gonna kind of like tie the top with a bit of twine.
Okay.
And then like let it kind of let it hang down their side.
Okay. As you do, Kostas says, What is that? The spleen? Kidney?
Does it look like a spleen to you?
No, it doesn't. If that's what you're after, what the hell is going on?
You really think you can charge into our camp, take our hunt, and then ask us what's going on? What's going on? Who the fuck are you?
I told you my name already. You know what? This doesn't matter. I have what I came here for. And they like finish slicing off some meat, and they like throw it into like a satchel that they have nearby. It feels wet, and as it slaps into the burlap of the bag, and they like tie it similar to you, but their bag's a lot bigger. They go, all right, that's all I wanted.
You've never seen one of these before, hunting
No.
these things.
I have not. And frankly, you know what? You're right. What is it to me? Doesn't matter. I don't care. And Kostas like pulls their hood like a little bit farther over their face, and they say, well, thank you for your time and your evening, but I have a Dabathati to get to. And they begin to turn around to leave.
Oh, how exciting! I'm leading these people to places as well.
Kostas pauses, turns. You can see their hood like turning to address you, and they say, you're also headed to the capital? What for?
Isn't that where all the cool people hang out these days?
What are you really going there for?
Tourism.
Yeah, Dewey there has always wanted to see. They love everything they've heard, but they've never been. So it's kind of like I'm sending them on a little trip.
Okay,
to
make
see
a
the world.
collective deception check for me. All four of you.
All four of us.
Yeah, it's a
I'm gonna-
collective lie.
I'm going to use a point of my inspiration
Okay, sounds good.
Oh boy.
for that nat one.
Oh,
Okay, let me get rid of that.
Oh, -2. Okay. Whew. A 6. 6 for me.
6 for Oka. What about the
11
rest of it?
here.
11 for Manaia.
24.
24 for V.
19.
19. Okay, that's a tie. Which means that the active party fails in the event of a tie during a tiebreaker, which means the lying party fails. So Kostas becomes suspicious and says, right, tourism. And even though you can't see their face, you can like feel their gaze like settling over your various assorted mangled bodies, as well as like your large weapons, you know, that are nearby, and like the blood on the ground and the dead creatures. And they go, well, good luck. You're gonna need it. And they begin to turn and leave, but right before they vanish out of sight, they go, just be careful. And then they disappear into the night. Unless y'all like want to say like, you know, anything else to them or continue this interaction any longer. Otherwise, we can cut it there.
I think Oka takes a moment,
Okay.
kind of like surveys their friends,
Okay.
looks at the bag, looks back up, and they say, hold on, I'll be right back. And they're gonna follow into the darkness.
Okay. And
Kind of
the
like
rest,
jog after.
sure. And the rest of you?
Kostas.
V is going to turn to Dewey and ask Dewey, do you feel comfortable staying here with Manaia?
I guess. Yeah, go make sure Oka doesn't get... This isn't usually your role, but go make sure Oka doesn't get into trouble.
You know, if anyone gets into trouble, you know who it's going to be. And then V
Yeah.
runs off.
Oh, that doesn't make me feel better. Okay.
So V and Oka are gonna run off. Manaia, Dewey, you're gonna stay behind?
Looks like it.
Okay, great. So Oka, why don't you just make a perception check for me as you're forwarding your way through the darkness? And V, are you trying to be stealthy, V, or are you just like following?
I would like to be stealthy.
Okay, roll stealth.
No.
Roll stealth for me.
Nat 20.
That's an 11 on my perception.
Okay, nat 20 for V. Yeah, V, you blend into the darkness. I don't know what the translation on the caption was. It was like MP 2424. V, you blend into the darkness and you slip past the boundaries of the campfire after Oka, as Oka with an 11. Okay. Excuse me, that was a little burp. You're able to listen. You hear like their boots crunching deeper in like across over graveled stone because you're currently in the middle of the god spine, right? You can hear their boots crunching, and you follow the noise, and you're pretty sure you're going in the right direction. But lucky for you, this person isn't trying to be stealthy or like run away very quickly. They're just walking away, so you're able to find them pretty fast. As you move away from the campfire, though, there's no light guiding your way at all. How are you? You can't see them.
I'll cast light.
Okay, you cast light on your hand?
Yeah.
Okay, on your hand illuminates, and you see maybe 20 feet at the fringe of your light circle, you see this hooded figure walking away, and as soon as the light comes up, they pause, and they turn. And again, their face is shrouded in darkness, and they go, "What do you want?" And V, neither Oka nor Kostas notice you.
Listen, you're a hunter, right?
Yes.
You need to start collecting these. If you're hunting these monsters, you need to start taking these. Okay?
Why?
You just gonna believe me if I tell you?
I mean, would I have believed someone 2 months ago if they told me the entire world was ending and the gods were going to disappear? Try me.
This is where all the dead go now. There's no after anymore, there's just this.
What the hell are you talking
The
about?
background.
What, like there's a corpse in there?
There's not a corpse, there's a soul, asshole.
A soul? Like, the monster's soul?
No, like, all the people that this monster has killed, all of their souls.
What? How do you know this?
We're working for someone who's trying to figure it all out. Listen,
Hold on, are you
kind of like fumbles?
Are you with the Chrysalis?
No.
Oh.
Are you?
Roll insight with disadvantage because you can't see anything about this person.
Aw.
V, you can also try to roll insight with disadvantage.
All right.
It was only a 7.
Okay. V?
10.
10. Let's see. Yeah, that's not quite gonna cut it. Both of you just sort of see this person's shoulders sort of stiffen a little bit, and their head like cocks to the side a bit, but that's all you see in terms of body language. And they go, "Not yet."
You can do whatever you want, but just start collecting these. And there's a house. Oka kind of like fumbles with a piece of parchment.
Okay.
And they scrawled, because we got like coordinates for Dr. Luso's.
Yeah.
Oka scrawls down the coordinates and like holds it out.
You're gonna give them the address of Dr. Luso's house?
Yep.
Okay. You hold it out. This person pauses, and pauses for just a moment, and then they reach their hand out and they take the parchment. They glance down at it, and then they tuck it away inside their cloak. And they go, go ahead.
If you don't want to be eating monster meat anymore, I'm sure if you brought a couple of these to this house, you'd get a few pieces of gold.
Gold.
So that you can buy actual food.
I'm not looking for gold. I'm not even really looking for good food. And unless this person whose address you're handing me can help me beyond that, I doubt I'm going to pay them a visit. But I appreciate the heads up. Anything else?
V would like to do something.
Okay, V, what would you like to do?
Here it comes.
V would like to cast minor illusion
Okay.
to have a very high-pitched woman's voice, but
Okay.
almost sound like the wind behind Kostas, be like, Kostas, trust them.
Okay, so you're gonna have a really creepy voice come out of nowhere whispering trust them?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. So the voice comes, whispers. You can see it work because Kostas sort of flinches and whips around, and immediately their blade is out. Even though you didn't really even see them like unsheath it, it's immediately just out, and they're looking. And they go, "Who the hell was that?" And they whip around at you, and they glare. You can't. They don't have. You can't see their face, but they seem to be glaring at you, Oka. What the hell was that? Did you do that?
I didn't.
And then the voice comes again. Trust. Trust.
What are you trying to do, V? What's your game plan here?
I'm going to just scare the crap out of him. Just give me a moment.
You're just trying to scare them? That's it? You're just trying to make them scared?
Okay, fine. Then, so I've done it the second time. V's gonna step into the light now from the shadows.
Yep.
And be like, I hear that you mentioned the Chrysalis.
Okay. Kostas has their back to you currently, and then when they hear your voice, they turn. They're still holding the sword, and they go, Wait, was that you, the voice?
Let's just say that I hear things from the Chrysalis sometimes.
So you're trying to convince them that this voice is from the Chrysalis, and that you're with them? Okay, so roll performance for me based on that. Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Wait, hold on. I have to acknowledge that username Fatty Shitpants is now following.
22.
Okay. They pause and they go, "You're a child?"
I've been told that I've been given special gifts by the Chrysalis, and I'm going to meet them at their headquarters to learn more.
Really?
Yes,
Do
you not believe?
You're a Chrysalis touched?
I don't have words for it yet, friend. I only know that there are people who really want me to meet them in this city that we're going to.
Take me with you.
I don't know. You weren't very polite to us back there. In fact, you kind of been rude.
I'm sorry. I didn't know you were with the Chrysalis. I wouldn't have treated you like that if I knew. I'm trying to join. I'm trying to join the children.
Perfect.
If you know them, please, can you take me with you?
If you share some of your meat, perhaps we could, for food, I think we could make room for you on our trip.
I would appreciate that. Thank you. And of course, I'll be more than willing to share the meat.
Excellent. Then we can be friends.
Great. Well, Kostas glances at you, Oka, and says, "I suppose I won't be visiting this person anytime soon, though I do appreciate it."
It snatches the...
Oh no, it's tucked away in their cloak.
Back, I think.
It's inside their cloak. So unless you want to like manhandle Kostas, which you can try to do. You can do whatever you want.
No, it's cool.
Okay. So we can you bring Kostas back to the camp, where Manaia and Dewey. While this whole exchange has been happening, what have the two of you been up to?
Tending to Manaia's wounds.
Okay.
Looking around in fear.
Okay. Manaia?
Manaia's been a little bit cynical and very tired, and she's gonna want to go sleep.
Okay, so you're just asleep. And Dewey, you're just having a quiet moment, tending to Manaia. See, you glitched out for a moment there, but you're back. And Dewey, your ears, I don't know if you have ears because you're a bird, your audio holes perk up as you hear footsteps reapproaching the campfire, and you see Oka, V, and Kostas stepping into the light of the fire. And Kostas, without a single word, just sort of begins to set up their bedroll.
I gesture for Oka and V to come close.
For like a sidebar.
Yeah.
Okay.
Huddle up.
Yep.
Yeah,
Huddle up.
so we head over.
Okay.
What's going on?
I made a new friend. It's amazing what happens when you send V to talk to somebody.
I did not send you to talk to that person.
I thought I heard you say that. Go talk to them, V. Look, no one got into any trouble. Okay, you were there. What happened? We made
There's
friends.
plenty of trouble. They want to join the Chrysalis. I wanted to give
We're
them
helping
Dr.
them?
Luce's address if they were. Oh, who knows? V,
Well-
this one's on you.
No, I think keeping them closer to keep an eye on them is the smart move here. They seem very interesting.
Well, not much we can do about it now.
We don't have to travel with them?
I figure with all these creatures in the god spine, it couldn't help to work. It could be very lovely to travel with one more body, especially with Manaia being a little bit injured. You know, we could stand to have one more person around.
I don't think I'll be sleeping comfortably for the next few days, but we're almost there.
It's okay. I don't need much sleep. I'll sleep a little bit and I can watch. I'll keep it. If anything goes wrong, you can blame your friend me on this one. I'll take the blame.
Oh, I will.
They think I'm somewhat important. Why would they come after us?
It might be a good in.
Yes.
Okay. Max, you want to say something?
Dewey's not convinced that this person is not a werewolf.
What? What makes you think they are a werewolf? You have notes? Oh, you're pulling out the receipts. Okay.
There's their cloak is lined with like fur.
Yes.
They're in search of meat. They love the darkness, and there's no exposed skin.
So you think it's because they're furry and a wolf? Okay. You know what, Max? I'm gonna give you a point of inspiration for that crackpot theory. I'm gonna do it.
Right.
I'm gonna give you a point of inspiration for that. Because it's
We're having notes.
Like, actually, I know exactly why. It's right here. It's written down.
According to my calculations, this is a werewolf.
Okay, so the three of
It's
you...
not a werewolf.
It's not... Well, that's true. They're also not a beholder.
But if there's no moon, will they transform?
There's no moon in Andake, I must repeat. In this world, there's no such thing as a moon. There are still lycanthropes, but it's not related to, like, the moon, phases of the moon.
Interesting. We might need an in-depth analysis of those types of creatures in this world.
Yeah, later. If and when it becomes relevant, I guess. So the four of you, Dewey, you maybe bring some silver close to your body as the four of you go to sleep. V, I'm assuming you're staying up for the rest of the watch. You also notice that Kostas is staying up. They plant one sword into the ground and they lean against it. And you're not sure, actually, because they're hooded. You can't tell if they're sleeping or if they're awake. But for the rest of the night, it passes without much incident. And soon, the sunless sky begins to brighten as another day dawns upon us. A starless, sunless, godless day.
This is a music choice.
This is a music choice. I have a bunch of ominous tunes queued up and then like one ambient tune that is not so much ominous, and we're gonna get to that when we get to it. So when you awaken the next day, Oka/C, I believe you were the last person picked for our relationship building minigame.
Yeah.
Right? Okay, so
I
for those
love it.
who don't know, I have homebrewed a system for relationship building scenes while you're traveling, specifically in D&D 5th edition, that I took a lot of inspiration from the game Star-Crossed. So Oka/C, you are the roller here. So why don't you pick an initiator, someone who hasn't gone yet?
Well, V is the only one who hasn't gone yet.
Okay.
True.
So this will be a scene between Oka and V. So Oka, roll 2 D100s for me, or roll a D100 twice, and let me know what numbers you get. It's gonna be fun. I have a
You
list
got
of
it, boss.
You got it, boss.
Wild magic with
18.
talking.
18. Okay.
And 27.
And 27. Okay. So the 2 prompts are 18, receiving a gift, and 27, finding common ground. And V, you pick which prompt you prefer, and you initiate a scene based on it. Again, receiving a gift and finding common ground.
I think I'm going to go with finding common ground.
Sounds good.
I think it'll be morning. People are just starting to wake up, and I think the rest of the camp is a bit further away. I think Oka and I perhaps are. Let's say we're doing the final touches of anything you need to look at for the scorpion creature.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Now that's daytime. And Oka, we haven't had a chance to really chat while we've been on this journey together. I've watching you talk with our friend last night. I was watching from the shadows, and I remembered what you said about wanting to lie more. And I was thinking, perhaps it is time for your first lesson, your true first lesson.
Oka's a little bit sleep grouchy. They have a kind of pinched face in the morning, but they do raise an eyebrow. How does one, just for posterity's sake, how does one go about teaching someone else how to lie?
Well, I think you and I, we've traveled this world. We've seen some things that might terrify some other individuals, perhaps. And so when you're in the heat of the moment and you need to convince someone of something that doesn't exist, it's so easy for you to grab one of these other experiences, is it not? To be like, there is a giant tarantula creature made of 20 heads that is coming after us. I'm sure you could lie if you had to, could you not?
Well, yeah, there's a giant tarantula head coming right this way. Right?
Okay.
Like that?
Yeah, let's
look, V, behind you, that asshole that you brought into camp is trying to cook Dewey for lunch. Right? Is that kind of...
Yes, you're getting better already. Let's keep practicing. But I say all these things because I'm a little curious what I walked into, in Dr. Oluso's house. You revealed some interesting parts of what's going on with you, and I'm a little concerned for you, my friend. And you also had a conversation alone with Dr. Oluso. And I just want you to know that from one person who has had to survive to another, I'm here to help you.
So is this part of the lying lesson, or are you being sincere? Can I perhaps roll insight?
I'll allow it. Yeah, I'll allow it.
I mean, I don't actually want to.
Okay,
Actually,
great.
now that I think about it.
Then no.
Okay. Just need to think about what you. Okay. Is this your first lesson? I don't know. Is it? Perhaps. Do you think you can trust me?
Not at all, darling. Not at all.
As you shouldn't.
But I think that's why we get along.
Yes. I You know what's interesting is that I think we've both seen some things, and it is interesting to me that you hold so dear to the truth that when it comes time to lie, you don't really have it in you because you want to believe so much in the truth. And where I come from, where I grew up, the truth is as ever-changing as the sun going across the sky when it still went across the sky. It's no longer there. That's a little creepy, I know, but still. Perhaps it's just, we come from different places, but I think we still, again, experienced a lot of horrors in this world.
Uka kind of folds their arm and looks up at V. You're surprisingly insightful, and that scares the fuck out of me.
Well, friend, once again, I've been around for a while, and I will tell you this. I tell this to Manaia. I will tell this to any one of you. I've not been in the group for a long time. I have not been this nice to people on such a prolonged months of being nice to people in a long time. And it hurts a little bit, but I'm doing it for you because I care about you and I want to see the best for you.
That's perhaps the scariest thing you've heard V say.
Yeah, it is. I guess we are a little bit more similar than I thought.
And as this realization sort of settles in for the two of you, you finish, your morning rituals. That's where we leave you with that scene. So it's currently 10 minutes until our break, probably. Break at 4 p.m. Central here, so I think we have time for one more encounter before getting to Dabathati and having the next hour be dedicated towards city adventure fun times. So how I'm going to do this is, Erica, V, since you haven't been a roller yet, instead of doing another relationship building scene, let's have you roll a D100 and see what comes up.
Wait, I thought V was draconic ancestry, not wild magic. Why is she rolling?
Oh, why is it not?
Oh, you got us.
Okay, roll
89.
89, let's see. Okay. So this happens maybe with like maybe a week left until you reach Dabathati, the capital proper. So like up until now, I'll just narrate a quick traveling sequence. The five of you now that you've picked up Kostas, you sort of hike your way through the rest of the God Spine. This definitely takes the most time because even though the God Spine is just, relatively speaking, the smallest stretch of travel that you have until you reach Dabathati, on the other side of the mountain range, it's the most treacherous and it takes you the most time. So one day of travel anywhere else would be 2 or 3 days of travel in the God Spine. But Kostas seems to know their way around somewhat, so they're able to guide your group through the treacherous spires and caverns and various natural traps of the God Spine without too much trouble. You don't really run into any notable monsters, and you run into the occasional bear or mountain lion that you scare off, and you hunt for meat, right? Or you forage berries. And the days sort of pass like this. Kostas doesn't reveal much about themselves unless any of you try to get to know them better. So you can just let me know how. Why don't the four of you tell me sort of how you're spending your travel up until a week out before you reach the capital.
So Manaia slept in that day after that whole fight thing. And for the first half of the next day, she was a little bit cynical, a little bit mentally just recovering from it. But after a couple of days, she's back to her old self.
Okay.
She's doing a lot of staying back and letting the trackers and the hunters and the people who know
what they're doing
take the lead.
Okay, so you sort of hang back a little. Kostas obviously doesn't reach out to try to talk to you, or any of you really. The only person they seem somewhat interested in sometimes talking to is V, but even then they're very reticent and they don't reveal a lot about themselves even when asked directly. How about the rest of you? How are you spending the rest of your travel until you're about a week out?
I think that Oka has a shouting match with Kostas.
Okay.
About which direction to go.
Okay.
Because Oka's been the one who's been leading them so far,
Okay.
and I think they just like get it. I would like to think perhaps they get in a shouting match or some kind of argument.
They do.
Cool. To which Oka is like, "Fuck this noise," and just kind of like is like, "Fine, take us wherever the fuck you want," you know, just like and then hangs back and walks with Manaia and just like mutters, just like complains Manaia's ear off for like 3 hours.
Cool.
And then is quietly brooding.
Cool. Yeah,
and angry about it.
Kostas seems to have a similar fiery temper as you, Oka. So when the two of you blow up at each other, it's like fireworks going off. And they don't back down at all, which infuriates you, probably. But they are also infuriated by the fact that you don't back down. So by the end of that argument, they're just sort of forging on ahead very angrily. You can sort of see like their shoulders heaving with exertion and frustration. Dewey V?
I feel like Dewey doesn't know, like, Okamani and V super well. They've only known each other for, like, what, over a month?
About a month, yeah.
But he finds himself, like, because we had this new threat, this new party member that he doesn't really trust, he's been, like, relying a little bit more on Manaia, Oka, and V.
Okay.
But he will occasionally, like, strike up conversation with Kostas in an attempt to, like, catch them, in an attempt to have them slip up about being a werewolf. Be like, gosh, I really miss the moon, don't you?
There's no moon in this world.
I know.
There's never been a moon.
Oh,
Yeah, there's
well,
never been a moon. But
okay,
the way
let's
how
stop
werewolves
in that.
work is instead of being controlled by the phases of the moon, they are controlled by the phases of the tide. When the tide comes in, when the tide washes out, and it's very regional.
So he just tries to, like, he just offhandedly makes these comments and just, like, waits for their response.
Yeah, when you make these comments, like, Kostas goes, no, I've never gone skinny dipping. No, I've never been caught in a riptide. No, I'm not much of a... Where I'm from, the waters don't really move. And if they do, you're kind of fucked.
Not a werewolf.
What was that?
Nothing. Thanks for your... Good to know.
Uh-huh. Kostas keeps their distance from you the most, Dewey. And V, how are you traveling? How's V on the road?
V is going to be very performative. Whenever she's not speaking directly with Kostas, she is constantly being aware of Kostas probably watching her, and she's going to sprinkle in minor illusion at times to, like, give herself a shimmer, a glow, make it look like maybe like ghostly apparitions, like a swirl around her once in a while and then fly away.
Okay.
Just
very much showmanshipping it up.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
At night, when they're sleeping, V will, like, pretend like she's sleeping, and then minor illusion causes, like, a green glow around her and pretends to, like, dissipate out into the night sky.
Okay. So yeah, Kostas, you can't see their face, obviously, but they seem, whenever this happens, they seem to pause and look at you. And you can't see their expression, but they do seem to notice what you're doing, like, a lot. And they seem to pause, and they don't comment on it, like, in a salty or mean way, which probably means that they like it, because otherwise they've been very, like, abrasive this entire time. So have any of you tried to look under their hood, or, like, ask them about where they're from, or are you just sort of keeping your distance?
Dewey, Mr. Curious over here.
Dewey tries to catch glimpses under their hood when they think they're not looking.
Okay, Dewey, roll sleight of hand.
Sleight of hand?
It's for the entire journey, see how successful you are. Let's do it.
11.
You do not succeed. And not only do you not succeed, you're sort of like glancing. They seem to notice that you're trying to like peek, and they always like pull their cloak around tighter. They walk faster, you know? Like vampire. Ooh, are they not a werewolf? Are they a vampire? Walking away. Okay, so it's 4 right now. So I think we can take a break there on Dewey trying to peer, and then the 5 of you finally exit the Godspine, and you reach the Heavenly Road, which is basically Andake, which is the name of our setting, Andake's version of a Silk Road. It is a huge, massively traveled trade route that spans the entirety of like the heart of the main continent, specifically connecting the Republic of Talamad with the Kingdom of Tulong, the clans of Kirtal, as well as the Championship of Nabal. And this road also connects all the way to the east to the United Tribes of Jukai. So basically the only countries that aren't connected by the Silk Road are Uhanahi, which is an island, an archipelago, as well as the commune of Morose, which is all the way to the north and set upon a frozen lake. So yeah, there are offshoots of, and the Court of Ravens.
And the Court of Ravens,
yes, yeah. Yes, the offshoots of the road do connect, but the main vein of the Heavenly Road sort of follows the Godspine. So you eventually reach the Heavenly Road during the day, thank goodness. It's around like mid-afternoon, let's say, when you step out of the Godspine. The lack of sun, the sunless sky is burning sort of like a burnt orange, pale burnt orange down upon you, and you see, you're like on top of like a cliff that winds down. You see below you at the very bottom of this cliff of the Godspine, the Heavenly Road, a huge, massive trade route with, you see like caravans, you see travelers, see a lot more people than perhaps you are used to seeing because you've been traveling through the Godspine, which has like very few other travelers. So yeah, you see like it's hustling and bustling. People seem to be in a hurry, perhaps trying to beat the starless night, getting to whichever way station or stop on the road before their final destination. And as you look over this Heavenly Road, a feeling of the fact that you're closer than ever to the capital overwhelms the 4 of you. And let's take a quick break now, 10-minute break, before we actually get to Dabathati, before we get to the city proper. Thank you everyone for tuning in. We'll be back in 10 minutes. Take a break, bio break, tech break, and enjoy our sponsor reel as well as fan art. All right, everybody, we'll be back in 10 minutes. Peace. We will be back very soon.
If I go fast instead of slowly, instead of last, if my father survives me, if I explode, if I go up in smoke, if I go quietly, when I go quiet, give my heart to my mother, she'll know what to do, give my songs to my lover, she'll know what to do, give my bones to my father, my poems to my sister, my love to one another, give it all to each other. And I suppose the soul can go to the children children. I suppose the trash can go to the museum. I suppose the dreams can go in the casket. I suppose the blood will go where you ask it. Will go where you ask it. Will spill where you ask it. Will spill where you ask. I'll spill where you ask. I'll spill where you ask. I'll spill. I'll spill. I'll spill. I'll spill.
Beneath the sands of time, a castle and its undead court stirs. Deep in the darkest woods, a wild hunt rages on. And at the edge of a fallen city, a never-ceasing hunger gnaws at the ribs of unlucky souls. In the heart of Vyre, the unholy empire, Queen Saphira of the thrice-cursed House of Fane adjusts her grandmother's crown, fully aware that she is not the only devil scheming in her throne room. And somewhere, ignorant to it all, are 4 bad heroes, with no idea just how unprepared they are. Bad Heroes is a Pathfinder actual play podcast set in a homebrew world with a love of storytelling, roleplay, and the more charming forces of hell. Find us on Spotify, Apple, and wherever you get your podcasts.
If I go fast instead of slowly, instead of last, if my father survives me, if I explode, if I go up in smoke, if I go quietly, when I go quiet, give my heart to my mother. She'll know what to do. Give my songs to my lover. She'll know what to do. Give my bones to my father. My poems to my sister. My love to one another. Give it all to each other. And I suppose the soul can go to the children. I suppose the trash can go to the museum. I suppose the dreams can go in the casket. I suppose the blood will go where you ask it. Will go where you ask it. Will spill where you ask it. Will spill where you ask. I'll spill where you ask. I'll spill where you ask. I'll spill. I'll spill. I'll spill. I'll spill.
hello everybody and welcome back to Transplanar RPG. Thank you so much for waiting here with us. We feel very loved. Hello, let's get right back into the action. I'm gonna unpause the music player, take a deep breath, and paint y'all a beautiful word picture. So, the 5 of you come upon the Godspine. The Heavenly Road, trailing like a huge, massive, world-encompassing snake. You see caravans, you see people packed to the gills on this road, you see horses, you see zebras, you see camels, you see yak, and oxen, and elk, even, trawling this Godspine. Beasts of burden, pets, animals, and families. Entire families of people traveling. They look like perhaps refugees, displaced people due to the cataclysm, due to their homes being destroyed or expelled or otherwise vanished, just like the gods and the stars. So as the 5 of you pick your way down the cliff toward the Heavenly Road, you see Kostas sort of go, great, more people. But they also follow the rest of you down this sheer, there's like kind of like a makeshift footpath that leads you all the way down to the Heavenly Road. And you spend the next week, if I may expedite travel a little bit, on the Heavenly Road, rubbing elbows and shoulders with folk that look, majority of them, maybe like 60 to 70% of the people on the road actually look to be refugees instead of the usual merchants and travelers. They seem displaced, like entire families, like dressed in rags, hauling their life's possessions with them in caravans. Okay. So before we reach Dabathati proper, is there anything anyone would like to do or say, any interactions folks would like to have?
Where does it look like everyone's going? Like, are they just going back and forth, or is everyone headed in the same direction?
That's sort of similar to asking where does it seem like cars on a highway are going. Some of them just seem to like peel off, occasionally on like exit ramps, let's say, like offshoots of the Heavenly Road going one place or another, but you probably wouldn't know unless you stopped to ask someone. And in the case, there are like a few people that seem to be there the entire time you're traveling, like for the week. They all seem to just be like walking down the same road toward Dabathati with you. But a lot of other people also like peel off, and people come on and leave, it's just like cars on a highway. It's hard to track.
So there's no like mass exodus of the city as the riots are going on or anything like that?
There doesn't seem to be anyone. There are people like coming the other way as well, but if there were an exodus, you figured you would overhear something like that. People being like, "Oh my God, the city, we have to vacate," But you
Oh,
you do hear like rumors flying around, and if you want to, you can try to make a perception check to see how many rumors you catch, you pick up on. So why don't all of y'all make a perception check for me, please?
13.
11.
13, 11?
I'm using a... Oh, I have inspiration. Look at that. I'm going to use my inspiration.
I got 17.
13, 11, 17. I'm going to get rid of your inspiration on the overlay, Devin. Okay. Oops. That's not what I wanted to do. There we go.
10 for me.
10. Okay. So Oka, V, and Manaia, the 3 of you overhear something that seems particularly concerning. From like multiple different travelers, you overhear the conversation. They're whispering about how the gates to Dabathati, to the capital, are closed to outsiders. Whispering about how it's gonna be really hard to get in. I don't know anyone inside. They're not letting any outsiders in. Stuff like that. Dewey, you also hear that, you hear more rumors about the riots, but also specifically about how in the capital, Consul Rahim is really upping, day and night watch, really upping recruitment efforts, You can't turn a street corner without seeing a cop. Or a guard, let's say. I don't want to use cop terminology, I'm gonna retcon that. Let's say guard. That's sort of what you hear as you're making your way toward Dabathati.
I think there's...
Go ahead, C.
Oh, hi, Cricket. I think as they near the city, Oka kind of gestures for a four huddle up. Yes, Amy, is it you?
I agree.
Let's see. Let's do this easy. And they just kind of mumble. I know somebody who's in Dabathati. I'm sure she wouldn't mind me using her name to get in.
Oh, good. I was worried we'd have to rely on V and then.
I was
Chrysalis to get
also
in.
worried. Manaia, we're like twins. I thought the exact same thing. Let's try Oka's way first. And if that doesn't work, then V will do what V does.
Kostas goes, there's also more.
Oh,
than
I was
one
leaving
way."
Kostas out of this.
Okay, great. Then they don't say anything.
Yeah.
So eventually the five of you reach the stretch of the heavenly road where you can see the entrance into the city. Yawning open before you is the vast Kagunia Canyon, a fearsome chasm with dozens upon dozens upon dozens of wooden suspension bridges swinging in the breeze, connecting the heavenly road to the capital city of the Republic of Talamad, Dabathati. And sticking out from the canyon wall, on the opposite side from where you are massive sewage pipes, continuously gushing gray water down, down, down into the God vein, the winding, fast-flowing river at the bottom of Kagunia. And above the sewage pipes, carved into the side of the almighty God spine itself, is a triptych of faces. An elf to the west, an orc in the center, and a dwarf to the east. These faces are decorated intricately in a Partinkari style, which is a kind of inlay technique of using cut and fitted, highly polished stone to create images. So think like intricate floral designs on the exterior of the Taj Mahal. The mouths of these three faces sort of gape open to admit entrance into Dabathati, each face well over 80 stories tall and hundreds of feet wide. These are the three heads of Udabathi, the god of mountains, thunder, and war, and the chief deity that Talamadans worship. Through these mouths is Dabathati. And Dabathati is beautiful. A vast, marvelous mountain stronghold of a city. The vaulted ceilings are so tall that it hardly feels like we're inside the god spine. Birds roost on the highest spires of the carved stone terraces, their crying song dwarfed by the riot of noise on the ground level. And overhangs of rock jut out from the stone walls within the city, their insides tunneled into to provide the bones for dwellings and other man-made structures, giving depth, complexity, variety, and a sense of levels within the city. You also notice something very interesting, which is waterfalls. Waterfalls gushing from natural crevasses in the stone, with children frolicking in the shallow pools caused by the overflowing rush of water, sometimes slipping and falling onto the slick stone ground. And rivers form from this excess of water cut through the capital, dividing Dabathati into three distinct districts. The Western District boasts wide, even swaths of stone, the training grounds for the city's day and night watch, as well as the Republic's military. A long line of fresh trainees jogs along a path that winds around their barracks while a day watch officer talks to an eager-looking young person outside of a recruitment office. Scarred mercenaries loiter on the stoops of adventurers' guilds, smoking hand-rolled cigarettes and shooting the breeze. And a shop owner carefully watches a shifty-eyed tiefling turning over the hilt of an ornate dagger within her specialty weapon store. This is the district of Vinash, or Destruction, home to the military affairs, war offices, and city watch headquarters of the Republic. The central district, known as Suraksha, is far less intimidating. We see a young couple considering the hand-carved wares of an overeager hawker, while a mother stands at the threshold of her home calling her child in for dinner, and a small crowd of irate citizens crowds a civil office, demanding to speak to the magistrate that's holed herself inside. An older woman sits on a park bench, reading a scroll and enjoying the gentle scent of a rose garden nearby that's open to the public. After all, Suraksha, the district of protection, is home to Dabathati's residential dwellings, market squares, public gardens, and civil offices. Last but not least, we have the Eastern District, the district of Thristi, or creation. Learned women pore over thick scrolls within marvelous marble libraries, while the clang of metal on metal alerts us to nearby smiths practicing their craft. A gathering of distinguished-looking patrons lines up in front of an austere dance theater, and a solemn-looking young man strolls through an abstract sculpture garden comprised of tombs and shrines, examining the craftsmanship of the jali, or a kind of latticed screen made of stone. Laboratories, bookstores, street magicians, and buskers. This is the lifeblood of Thristi, where the arts and sciences bloom. And towering above all of this, in the very center of the capital, its beating heart, is the Senate House. A massive haveli with multiple floors, a strictly guarded perimeter, and perfectly manicured courtyards. But despite all this razzle and dazzle, there are signs of a city teeming with unease and trauma. Maybe it's the remnants of shattered rock that we see scattered across the floor, maybe it's the proliferation of new construction sites, or maybe it's the entrances to the Ujval mines at the very back of the city, where Dabathati ends and the god spine begins. Or maybe it's just the air here, thick, heavy, and seething with unrest. What did the four of you do?
Are there guard booths?
Yeah. So you can sort of see across the Kagunya Canyon. You're on the other side still. All you see are sort of these like wooden suspension bridges. Some are like very big and sturdy looking, probably enchanted, that can admit like large caravans even. Others are like skinny enough to just be footbridges across. You can't really see much of the city outside of these big broad strokes from where you are across the canyon, though. You can't see if, you know, if there are like guards at each of the mouths. You do see a lot of people, though. There's a lot of people all like crowding around the mouths, trying to get across the canyon.
I haven't been back here in 4 years, but where, like, if Oka was coming back into the mines, what path would they have taken to get in?
Just one of the suspension bridges, and you would have gone straight in through one of the mouths.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Then I think that's what Oka kind of like nods and steadies himself a little bit and just starts going towards one.
Okay.
Dewey will follow confidently.
Yeah, V sort of like make sure she's straightened up, looks presentable, and follows behind, like as if, you know, with a purpose.
Okay.
Manaia is going to wait for Kostas to go behind V and then bring up the rear.
Okay. The five of you walk toward one of these suspension bridges. Are you taking a footbridge or are you taking a wider bridge?
A footbridge.
Okay. You take a footbridge. There's a lot of people. So if you're gonna wait, it's gonna take like a few hours to get across. If you're gonna like play this nice. Unless you want to try to like muscle your way through. And
Throw people off the
the
edge.
light is getting dark. It's turning into evening.
Let's see.
I'd have to make a pretty immense strength roll to carry people on my back as I fly, right?
Yes, you would.
You have to roll like a
Especially
nasty-
a
Cool.
7.5 foot tall.
Not
I don't know,
gonna
we could let
Yeah,
Kostas
no.
fall.
Okay.
There you go. Do we want to try to be? This is Erica saying V could try to do something to like move to the front to push people, like to get some people all the way a little bit.
I mean, you are a prophet, right?
I might try a different route, but I might become someone else who would probably maybe get people to move out of the way.
That's up to you.
I'm okay with waiting, but if you're gonna go for it.
All right. Well, V would be interested, like, wants to get everyone's okay. Like, listen, friends, I could try to do some stuff to get us through this line a little faster, if you don't mind.
Be careful. We don't want anyone falling.
Yes, I would be as careful as can be.
V, what's your play here? What are you doing?
I'm gonna cast Disguise Self
Okay.
to become a burly-esque gentleman. Looks like a bit of a warrior. Burly, big red beard. Goes by the name of Ronnie.
Ronnie, okay?
And I'm just gonna muscle my way to the front line and be like, "Hey, everybody, move! We've got some important people here. Just move it, move along, move. Important people, move out of the way!" And just like try to intimidate in my performance, people.
Okay, roll intimidation. As you storm to the front of this line, you're trying to shove past people and intimidate them into making way for you.
I would like to use my point of inspiration.
Yes, you will.
Oh my
Using that,
god.
Erica. Okay.
Uh-oh.
What'd you get?
Erica, no!
Erica, what did you get?
Well, no, I got a 6.
Okay, with a 6, a few people scatter. You know, a few cowardly looking people scatter, but a few stay. Specifically, a group of dragonborn stay, and this group of dragonborn, they're all white dragonborn, actually. And they all sort of look like maybe they're like related in some way, or they like know each other. They're all clumped together. It's actually in Andake rather odd for people to group together based on their species. Because, you know, race-based stuff doesn't really exist here. So this is, first of all, this already is odd. And second of all, like, these dragonborn sort of like look at you. One of them is particularly large. V, I don't think you recognize any of them. But one of them is particularly large and has sort of like a scar across his snout. And he swaggers up to you as Ronnie, right? He says, "Who the fuck do you think you are? We got here first. You can't cut the line."
Well, you know what, friend? We could be totally friends. We could let's get in from the line together.
We don't know you. We're not gonna let you cut in with us.
How about I buy you a drink afterwards?
A drink? You think a drink is gonna buy you passage into Dabathati? Do you even know anyone in the city? You're just a freeloader.
Do I know anybody? Come on, I know the whole freaking city from top to bottom. I know noble people. I know the scum of the earth. Look at me. Do you not think I've seen some people in my life?
I'm sure you've seen people in your life, like we all have. But listen, man, you can't just cut the line. We're all waiting. We've been waiting for hours, and it's not cool. And like one of the other Dragonborns goes, "Yeah, it's not cool."
Look, you're obviously people here that would. I think we can do business together to get inside before it gets dark. Do you know what's inside out here in the dark?
Yeah, and we don't intend to find out even more. What do you mean, business? And this Dragonborn sort of like, is trying to scrutinize you. So what's the contesting to see through an illusion?
Let me see it.
Shaking my D20 like a maraca. Perhaps like a magic 8-ball?
Inspecting appearance, I must succeed on intelligence, aka investigation.
Okay.
Against,
Yeah, what's the DC?
13.
You're a big guy, I'll give you that. But but our boss is even bigger. So if you know what's good for you, You better back off.
Well, you know what? I'd like to have a word with your boss. I don't appreciate your attitude.
Oh, you want a word with our boss? Oh, this guy's asking for trouble. You know what? Let's let him cut in. Let's bring him to the boss man himself. Have him give him a whipping. And this big guy goes, all right. I could do that. Okay. What's your name, twerp?
My name's Ronnie. What's your name, you little maggot?
My name's Armand. And, you know what? Severt's gonna get a kick out of this. Come on, you and the rest of y'all. Let's go.
V is suddenly very quiet. She's a little...
Pete, what the hell are you doing?
V doesn't have words. V casts message into Oka and be like, what the fuck?
Are you coming or what?
Flinches?
All right, you lead the way. I'm coming.
Are the rest of you going to follow V?
I guess.
So.
Oka and Manaia are like, absolutely the fuck not. But Dewey's like, okay. What's the plan? Are we splitting the party?
I mean, we're going together.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going with at least.
Okay, okay.
I think Oka's trying to play it like they're not with V,
God.
but they are gonna follow.
Okay. Roll dexterity, Oka. The rest of you don't have to. Yeah, Kostas also follows. Is sort of like looking at you, V, like, what the hell are you doing? But these dragonborn, there's 4 of them. The biggest one, Armand was the one who was talking to you. He sort of goes, all right, get out of the way, y'all. We've been waiting long enough. It's time for us to go. And he sort of, with his huge bulk, forges a path through this footbridge across for you and your party. What did you get, Oka?
An unnatural 20.
Yeah, you're able to follow pretty much right on their tail. Like, you accomplish what you set out to accomplish perfectly. Yes, go ahead.
I'm gonna reply to V's message and be like, what the fuck is going on? What the hell is wrong with you? Stop yelling in my head!
V is gonna cast message back and be like, this is not good. This is very not good.
Hey, Connie.
Yes?
It's not important, and I don't care, but how tall are these Dragonborn, and how tall is Ronnie here?
V, how tall is Ronnie?
Ronnie is about V's height.
It's like 5'11".
Because you know the way, the way this guy self works is like, if I'm bigger than myself, like people can just put their hands right through that excess. So Ronnie is a little bit more burly than V is naturally, but in terms of height in general, shape is very similar to V in size.
Armand, the big one with the scar, is about 6'5". So you're still taller, Manaia. You're still taller, don't worry.
So you're telling me there's a chance?
There's
Intimidate check.
You're gonna try to intimidate him?
No, not yet.
Not yet. Okay. Eventually, your party makes you like a lot of people grumble, okay, hey, you can't cut the line, but they sort of like fall silent at Armand's like glare. Eventually, your party makes it's only been an hour since you first saw Dabathati, and you're already across the footbridge, and you are standing at the base of the 3 mouths. And you see now that the portcullis, a massive portcullis as big as the mouths, are like halfway drawn in all 3 mouths, which Oka, is unusual. And you also see there's like huge throngs of people in front of each 3 mouths, and you see a bunch of like huge day watch presence. And Night Watch, they're preparing for the shift, it appears, in front of like each 3 of the mouths, and they seem to be like vetting very heavily this throng of people. Like a lot of people are really angry, there's a lot of shouting, there's like people even like sitting down, they seem to be like camping out in front of the city for the night, like people who have been turned away. And Armand and the other white dragonborn, they lead your group toward the mouth toward the, left, which is the one toward the west. The elf mouth toward the west. They like cut through the crowd. They do the same thing that they did on the footbridge. They're like out of the way, move, until they finally make it to the front. They push past a halfling farmer who goes, "Hey, you can't just push people around like that." And the smaller dragonborn goes, "Huh, guess what we just did?" And they're like bullies. They make their way all the way to the front, and you see a day watch officer, sort of guard, dressed in the black, gold, and red of the Republic of Telmod, sort of look at these dragonborn, and without even asking for papers, they just nod and let the dragonborn through. And like everyone goes, "Hey, you didn't even ask for papers, you know, like, what are you doing?" And the guard goes, hey, we know these guys, all right? We don't know you guys. We know these guys, we're gonna let them through. And the dragonborn say, "They're with us," and like sort of jerk at the rest of you. So okay, you don't even need to tap on your old connection to make it through. These dragonborn are your ticket into the city.
I'm able to kind of like slip in behind them.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. With your check from earlier with a 20, that's totally fine. So the 5 of you, I'm just going to refer to you as your party and Kostas, finally step through the huge mouth of the entrance into Dabathati, and you see the city that I described earlier, the hustle and the bustle. Here you're in the district of Vinash, or Destruction. This is where a lot of military offices are, adventurers guilds, for instance, and the Dragonborn seem to be leading the 5 of you toward one such guild. Like the building that seems to house, like, you see like a few scarred, like, fighters outside. Not all of them are Dragonborn, but a lot of them are. Not all of them are white. But of the Dragonborn that are there, all of them are, like, you see like a green one and a red one outside. And they seem to, like, know who Arman are, and they nod, and they sort of eye your group as Arman enters this house. Anything y'all would like to do before we move on?
How closely are the Dragonborn watching us behind them?
Very. Dewey, were you gonna try to attempt something?
I want no part in this.
Okay.
But...
I feel like... Are you thinking of something, Oka?
yeah, what's up?
I mean, Erica, I will defer to your desire here. I have a plan for a cut and run situation, potentially. Where we just book it out of here.
This is the V backstory subplot that's been unlocked.
Yeah.
In case there was any.
Yeah, but if you want to go inside...
Yeah, but I think I'm gonna actually one by one, each of y'all cast message and be like, I've got to go in here. I understand if you don't want to go in here, you can, if you want to try to get out of here, that just let me know and I'll say something to these people. So,
Well, I won't leave you
perhaps we can
behind.
wait outside.
interesting. V, as Ronnie, is gonna sort of stop for a second to the guards and be like, "Hey, before we see your boss, I think I'd rather be a little bit one-on-one meeting. My friends here are a little bit shy, and I'd rather meet him alone if that's all right."
Huh. Cowards. Fine. Meet him alone. Doesn't matter. Bring your buddies. Doesn't matter. He's gonna kick the shit out of all of you.
I can't wait to meet him.
Yeah, we're gonna stick around and watch him kick your ass. So, the rest of you can do whatever. Consider this your free ticket in, but at the cost of this asshole, this red-headed asshole getting his ass kicked.
Oka, watch Dewey going in.
Oka, you're gonna babysit Dewey. Outside the house? Or are you gonna wait inside?
Yeah.
Okay, outside.
Dewey and I are gonna make a plan outside. Don't worry about it.
And Manaia and VU walk in. Dewey and Oka, because the two of you are lingering outside, you have some time to take it in. You see a sigil set, like, sort of like probably the guild's, like, icon, set above the house, and you notice that it resembles a fist. But there's something about this fist that is interesting. First of all, it seems to be kind of rainbow colored, interestingly enough. Why don't the two of you roll religion for me?
Gay Dragonborn?
Yeah, there's just a bunch of bears.
These are bad rolls.
13.
I got a 7.
13-7? Okay. Yeah, Dewey, nothing else really stands out to you. This probably just looks like the icon of their guild. Oka, with your 13, you noticed something, the rainbow is unusual, but the way that the fist is twisting, and you notice, something about, like, the way it's presented feels familiar to you, and it takes you a moment, but you remember reading about Skad and Nectis in a scroll perhaps when you were younger, and bagpipes represent Nectis, right, of the lovers, and a fist usually represents Skad. And the way that this fist is twisted is almost identical to the one you recall reading in your scroll. But again, similar to when you met the pregnant people at the Copper Stewards in your very first episode, it is extremely sacrilegious to worship one lover over the other. They're always depicted in pairs. The rainbow is unusual, though.
Okay, interesting.
Okay, that's what you notice. V and Manaia, the two of you walk in, and you see, like, there seem to be multiple stories to this house. There's like a bar on the ground floor, as well as like tables where people are like playing craps, you know, and like all sorts of like gambling games. None of them really spare you a glance as you walk in, but they all sort of look at the dragonborn who walked in. They go, "Oh hey, Ardman," like whatever. They like greet him, and then Ardman goes, "Huh. Alright, prepare to meet your fucking maker." And the other dragonborn go, "Yeah, yeah." And they lead you toward a staircase.
V is looks back at Manaia a bit, and actually doesn't even cast message this time, but like just gives a look like, you know, I got this, and then like heads towards the stairwell.
Manaia gives a reassuring nod.
You're still following though, Manaia?
Yeah.
Okay.
Unless anyone stops me.
No, I don't think so. So the two of you you're flanked by the other dragonborn while Aruman leads you up the stairs, and you finally reach a second landing, which seems to have fewer people, but they continue to lead you up to a third landing. And when you reach the top of this landing, all there really is like a long hallway with a door at the end. And you notice paintings, decorating both walls of this hallway. Paintings that depict dragons. Red, blue, white, black, green dragons. But of them, the white dragon is the most prominently featured. And Aruman and the other dragonborn lead you down this hallway, and there's like huge double oak doors, right? And like the handles look like a carved fist at the top and a dragon scowling at the bottom. And Aruman says, "Huh, get ready for your ass to become grass, fucker." And he opens the double doors. And there is a vast study with a huge glass windows at the end that overlook the street, and bookshelves on either side with like those big ladders that you use to like get up on bookshelves. And standing at the far end of the study behind a mahogany desk with his back toward you is another white dragonborn dressed in a crisp suit. And he's the biggest of them all. He has his hands clasped behind his back, and he's looking out over the street. And Aruman says, "Hey, boss! We got some fuckers that you should beat up." Do either of you say anything?
Manaia crosses her arms.
Okay. V?
Oh boy, here we go.
No, V's not gonna say anything yet.
Okay, you stay silent. This biggest dragonborn, dressed in a dapper suit, black suit, contrasting against his white scales, doesn't even turn around, but with his hand still behind his back, he says, "What the hell are you talking about, Aruman?" And Aruman goes, "You know, you say we always want to show the strength of the order, you know, so here are some guys you can beat up. And this dragonborn pauses, and then Arban keeps talking, right? He's like babbling a little bit. He seems a little nervous. He goes, "Is there something wrong, boss? Should I not have sent them in here? I mean, they were dissing you. They were dissing us. They were dissing our..." And he begins to levitate in the air, like he's choking, and his limbs begin to thrash a little. And the other dragonborn that were with him cower. And you just notice the dragonborn behind the mahogany desk. A single claw is raising, as though he were like choking him, but he's all the way across the room. Then he flicks his wrist, and Arban goes flying against one of the bookshelves, and he crashes into it, and he slumps to the ground, goes, and he's coughing and coughing. And this leader, Severt, turns around and fixes one golden eye upon both you, V, and you, Manaia. And he says, "I thought I told you I didn't want to be disturbed." And then his gaze settles like ice over the two of you. He says, "Get out."
While still looking very much like Ronnie, V is going to say, with her normal V voice, "You've gained a little more power since the last time we met."
The Dragonborn blinks in complete surprise. A shock for a moment crosses his face, and for a moment, like, his composure drops a little. Like the hands up behind his back, like, slack a little, and he almost seems to, like, he's taken aback, but then he, like, very quickly, like, zips his composure back up, and, like, a smile spreads, like a carnivorous smile spreads across his dragon-like visage. And he goes, "V, you look different."
V is going to start walking towards Severt, and...
Are you going to keep your Ronnie disguise?
No, as she approaches, Ronnie's going to slowly melt away and melt back into V.
Okay.
Ooh, that's such a cool thing.
Okay.
And you are so lucky that I do not destroy you this very moment.
Okay, Manaia, are you standing inside the study or outside of it, beyond the threshold? This is important.
Where did the Dragonborn take us?
Pretty much right at the doorway. It's your choice whether you want to be inside the study or outside of it.
But they brought us to the door, but did any of them enter?
Just Arman. The others are cowering past it. Yep.
Manaia is standing just in the doorway.
Okay.
Ready to leave, but also ready to intercept if V's bluff doesn't go well.
Okay. Manaia, you are the one who feels most prominently a gust of icy wind rushing down this hallway that blows the double doors shut. And if you want to, you can try to duck out and, like, not be shut into the study, or you can just choose to be shut in. Okay.
V and I have too much between us. I would never let her.
With a huge slam, these double doors they bang shut. And Ottoman in the corner is just sort of, he seems like concussed. He's like not really responding. Severt goes, "To be honest, I haven't thought about you at all. But now that you're here, I suppose you're just another loose end I need to tie." And he cracks his knuckles.
The day that I woke up and found that you took everything I had from me, I died that day, and I am considered an untrustworthy person, so I believe me. I understand that I deserve that lack of trust, but what no one knows about their old friend V is that I am the way that I am only because I've had all of my ability to trust ripped away from me, and I have you to thank for.
Severt's smile only grows, and he says, "You're welcome, darling." And we're gonna roll initiative
God damn it.
for the next session.
Fuck yeah.
Through hands with my ex. Okay, so we're gonna end the session there. Wow, I didn't expect that to happen. We have like a million different things we have to do in the city. I'm very excited for the next session. So I'm gonna stop this very creepy, scary music and say thank you so much for coming and watching episode 6, Trauma Hour of Transplanar RPG. Again, my name is Connie. My pronouns are they, he, and she. I'm the GM and executive producer. You can find me on Tumblr and Twitch at @and issues. You can also find me on Twitter at @byConnieChang. The next session, well, I'll talk about that after we reintroduce ourselves. So let's go to C.
Cool, I'm C. I use they, them pronouns. You can find me for digital art and other stuff on Tumblr at pi-sharp and on Twitter at pi-sharpart.
Okay.
Max.
Okay.
I'm Max. I use they, them pronouns. You can find me on Instagram and Tumblr at starchmonger. Yeah. Let me pass it to Devin.
Hello. My name's Devin. I use they, them pronouns. I don't have any socials, but you can find me in our Discord, !Discord to join the Discord. Go ahead, Erica.
I am Erica, she, her. You can find me Erica New Girl. I also am a streamer here on Twitch. This next week, I will be starting the game The Blair Witch. So come join me. Get scared.
That's exciting. I really want to join you for that. And just as a reminder, episode 7 is going to come out Saturday, September 19th. That's in 2 Saturdays at 3 p.m. CDT on our Twitch. So follow, subscribe if you haven't already to get notifications. Enable mobile notifications so you know when we go live. You can also join our Discord. Use !Discord to join our community to talk about what the fuck just happened. We would love to hear your thoughts. Every Tuesday night at 7 p.m. Devin. We have Gaming with Devin. We're currently playing Final Fantasy XIV as Manaia Widera, so join us for that. And of course, next Saturday, if you can't wait for more content from us, Lecture 4 of my GM Advice series and Player Talkbacks, Professor Chang's Tabletop Workshop, airs next Saturday, September 12th at 3 p.m. Central, right here, right now. We're probably going to vote on what the topic's going to be. I'm looking forward to it. Do other folks have other announcements to make before we sign off?
We are about to end our Twitter
Yes.
art raffle giveaway
Yes.
at the end of this session. So you have approximately, 5 minutes to jump on Twitter, get to the Transplanar Twitter account, retweet the art giveaway announcement, and enter to win some
Free,
awesome.
look at these portraits on the overlay,
Free art.
right? You can get portraits similar to these headshots, right? From C and Erica. So this is a huge opportunity, free art. And now I'm going to bring it to the goodbye screen, but stick around. We are going to raid, we are going to raid Dicey Amazons, okay? So stick around. They're an all women of color, queer-led group. Stick around for that. We love y'all. Thank you so much. And peace. Stick around for it, though.